So, Haut. Ich muss einfach was nach Hause am Loadscreen. Boah. Ich bin weiter, Danganronpa und Parts. Zerfeiert. Danke nicht. Echt, ja, wir sind schon geblieben beim Anfang Chapter 5, soll das sein. Und ich wollte noch umgehen. Der letzte Save war von 23, mein Freund und ich habe 4 Runden auf dem PC weitergespielt, ich bin auf Konsole, wir sind drüber gewechselt. Und am Anfang lief der Let's Play seit 5,5 Jahren. Wollte ich noch umgehen. Also, eine gute Sache braucht 10 Zeit, I guess. Boah, kein Problem. Und dann, allerdings freue ich mich. Also anscheinend soll das im zweitletzten Chapter sein. Halt, wird ja von der Szene wird es anscheinend soll das irgendwie Epilog sein oder so. War auch nicht zu viel. Ja, aber ich schaue noch nicht zu viel. So. Okay, ich bin gespannt. So, wir waren halt innen. Wir hatten nicht viele Sachen nach gucken konnten, außer das. Is that an airplane? How did something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? Wahrscheinlich sind das all die Sachen, mit denen für so Leute im Busch wird, I guess. Also, Lυca kennt man am 4 Standard gesagt benutzt. Boah, das kann man noch rein. Das ist keine Atombombe oder so, whatever. That's a rocket and a tank. I'd better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. Ja, wahrscheinlich ist das alles Schrott davon. What? Wenn du weiter nachhabst, ne? Das ist gut. Ja, das ist immer das Trippinish. Ah, this is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. Okay, then I guess. Wird Zeit da rauszulaufen. Hoffentlich. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't gonna be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon. I decided to look around for some foods. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But it was pointless too. Next I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up, because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making a proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. Verwandelt. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. It was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. All I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign, not exactly. What the? Strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched the pile of garbage jostle and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from above. What could it have been? I guess nothing. Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Roots. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was. What?
It smells awful.
This place smells awful. Yoko?
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. Muss mein Bildschirm mal losmachen? So. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. That really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. Kyoko, why did you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt, or no, to atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew. Both angst wollte to expose me, bon.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that, you didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive...
In other words...
So that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
That's right, at least I did once. Once? Until recently, I'd forgotten what it is. You forgot, but that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Amnesia? Then, is it really true you lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school? The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us.
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind, one of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were at least likely to be the mastermind. It was just intuition, but... I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I
understand.
I
I should understand everything.
My
My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here. Yeah. It's just like the dream I had before, but did that just happen?
Listen.
Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey.
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
Correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. Okay. There's an unbelievable amount of trash here. I'd better talk to Kyoko. Allerdings muss Lυca only direction, oder? You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So how did it turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So...
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. That was interessant. You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. Einfach was ich das schon gut später. Einfach ultimate Fragezeichen. Anscheinend gewinnt von Spoiler, dann gerade hat ein Detective hier. Wow. Ultimate detective?
Correct.
And the reason I came to Hope Speak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone who?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope Speak Academy. The headmaster? Well, you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What?
In other
I was
words...
separated from him as a child, and as it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope Speak. Yoko's dad is Hope Speak's headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. Find a way.
Huh?
No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster, no matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on?
I...
My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. Makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However...
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then what had you seen there?
So...
The room had been ransacked, the shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map.
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope Speak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room, along with Mukuru's profile and their key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
That's when I finally remembered. Remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So I went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However...
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like, the part of the school? I mean, it's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. It sounds like it must be important and really ominous. But
However...
Of course, once I go to the second floor of the dorms, there were no cameras and no monitors. Aber das hat man schon.
However...
Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
However...
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her, and I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
Anyway...
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope Speak Academy at your own discretion.
In other words...
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is someone bound by the school regulations.
Hey!
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Mukuro. But could have become the victim.
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... Ah ja, the flashback wir schon tausendmal gesehen. During the night. can hear them, you know? The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairway. I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow going through your room.
correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised in a dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class threat to eliminate him. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class threat to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class threat to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered.
Makoto.
Just a little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused the event. We're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Tragedy, whoever's responsible for that. They're the ultimate despair.
It would seem...
That this big of a group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. And they
Indeed.
make no mistake. They're the root of all that evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Oh my gosh, kind of a junk food donkey. The end. But surviving students, Nummer 6. Nee, was sagst du denn trippen? Ah, doch, sag's Power. You received a Dream Island rocket present. Cool. Okay, nice. Tisch los. Sollen wir anscheinend an der letzten Chapter conclusion mit The Ultimate Despair. A group of people who caused a tragedy 1 year ago. The same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. I guess we still want to shot some trash control around in the museum. Or should have one of them. Kyoko, do you still have the one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
That's right. Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? No custom. Hey Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole and then... Yes, it opened!
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Nice. Sehr gespannt, wo wir noch rauskommen. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. Deadly life. Huh. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up, like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. The ladder was impossibly long, I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down. Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So, how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. But how come? It's like a family tradition, right? So,
Right.
because we take pride in it.
Indeed.
Right? A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's a source of pride. Pride. So that explains... Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of the pride. In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with the dead, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However...
There's something I want to say to him, though. But... No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, he had a promising future.
However...
But he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather and they had a huge argument, and young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me, because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never could have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression, so I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not
However...
true. There's one thing that I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me, I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good
However...
thing. When the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family to just cut him off like that?
Wrong.
Out like that? Our only connections through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that, I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like that it is.
Indeed.
On the other side of the store, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hedge on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. This hatch opened with ease, and so... What? Ah, wir sind high. Looks like we're back. But I can't believe how long the ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of here. Now we're back in Hawk's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out there without you. No thanks necessary, I was just returning the favor. This is the crash from the dump, in other words. But to be honest, I don't think I've seen anyone throw anything away down here. It's a switch that raises and lowers the gate. I didn't have the key to open it. We never did set up a clean and duty rotation. Ich was der Book aber da kriegen Boah. Nee, ich wollte mal Tim Schatz hören. So, now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out, I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then...
Then let's just get a concrete answer.
In other words...
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem if you escape. Wait, that's...
However...
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out, and it's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry, what do you think is going to happen, isn't?
Because
the mastermind is the one that's smart. The mastermind is smart and snared. Well, you said something like that before. What does it mean?
So...
The mastermind is still exposed during the investigation into Luca's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
Right.
We can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it would be better for us if we go to him directly before I track this down. That should help with our negotiations. So, still a little, super uneasy about this, but we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the
Shall
gym.
we go?
Let's get going. Okay. Leave the arrow, yes. Format. I guess mit der Pläne saufen.
Well now.
So I don't mind so much.
I don't believe it!
That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay? You're supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will we do?
Shing!
If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again.
Making me
and this time I won't give anything
angry.
a chance.
Right.
Do whatever you feel. What?
However...
Before you do, let me just say one thing.
Now...
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that it matters to you, right?
Huh?
Hey!
Hey!
You explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because...
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? Always getting in your way, so you want me an excuse to kill me.
In other words...
I was supposed to be chosen as the black and one executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
However...
When Makoto chose to overlook my right, your plan came crashing down. The result of the trial went about is what you were expecting, because you never imagined that in that position one person would protect another like that.
Right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
he reacted by proclaiming Makoto the black and then trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that, you must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was affecting you as well.
However...
But then there was another unexpected development that occurred. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. After ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you killed it.
Am I wrong?
Now here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro, you did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto fight would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the black end is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying the blacking is me, not Makoto.
Well?
You can prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. Just say it like that. What is this? A comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence?
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there's only ever one absolute truth.
Pum, pum.
Now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type.
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life. Feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you love so to inspire.
however,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
That's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey.
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased.
Indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. You would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
This pair can never feel hope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair fans,
That's what we have
then
to
I
do.
suggest you take my advice. No, what is this advice of yours?
it's true.
You will move those trials over again. Only this time you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair. Hey,
Well, that will make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukoto's killer, the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'd probably just execute me without another word. Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed.
What's
Oh,
wrong?
I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little, so time for better jokes. If such justice might be possible, it would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
in other words,
Does it mean you accept?
You
I
guys!
think if things your way, that will be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it will cause you unbearable despair, right? Then you're prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can
Let's
barely
have one final
contain
amazing
my...
showdown. You agreed. We still have a shot at this.
Barrett!
But this is a long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer's barely a
You
fitting end.
guys!
For this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last mystery that's pouring around the school. If you can do that,
I can
then that
barely
will be enough to
contain
qualify
myself!
a victory for you.
it's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well, good. Then let's bury it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukoto's death and solve the mysteries of the school,
You
then
guys!
you win. If you can't do all of that, we'll all face execution, right? Yeah, I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We are as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this all has turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's
I
wrong?
remember that for sure, so what?
hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a truth statement. You don't have to be so suspicious, I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations. Having a trial for Mukoto is no exception to that. Mukoto's trial is no exception, then it's part of the regulations, which would have to mean that whoever killed Mukoto. It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but his killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. The only people to take a single step in Jose Peak Academy since the killing game began are those 16 students.
listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why did it go quiet all of a sudden?
Now
I'm
I'm
talking, I have nothing left to
really...
say to you. So get lost, would you? Why so mad?
Whew.
He seems emotionally unstable.
Hey!
Leave me alone, get out of here. Okay, I'm going, You're really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair.
Hey,
Come on, Makoto, let's go. Okay. Quite interessant. Onokuma's unstable order seemed to cling to us as we walked away. Just like that, we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyuko's debt. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
However,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true.
whew,
Still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if anybody would accept my proposal. Well, honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from the final showdown, do they?
so
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
because
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let down their guard, like I said. When was it that the mastermind let their guard down? I
so
wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? He said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast their school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
listen.
What did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
Indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However,
Yet somehow, the mastermind was able to do it.
in other words,
Think of it another way, there must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. The reason?
so
They had to show the world something no matter the cost, us killing each other. They wanted to show the world.
it would
The
seem
mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly or forcing us to kill each other. All their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
in other words,
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that up to the world. But why?
correct.
Prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
For those of us who represent hope, to kill each other and sink into despair, the mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal, as the ultimate despair. What, to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right, it is ridiculous, completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really the only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry it must make you, and yet, that same motivation is what led to the mastermind revealing their weakness.
In other
Because
words,
their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided
at the
slaughter.
very
At
least,
least that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves.
indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of the regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished, but in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all the proper rules to get me killed. They began the trial, they didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they'd violated their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge.
however,
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got the chance, because you believed in me, another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the mastermind's thought and plan you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet.
Whew.
But it looks like I got this right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I showed my uneasiness, it would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right, how pathetic.
However,
Anyway, we can't react just yet. All we've done is earned a lot of chance to fight. We have to win this time.
correct.
Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it will cost us all the rest. There's no option except to win.
Hey,
Before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone.
However,
Is it really possible? But
anyway,
right now we have to go find the
shall we
others.
go?
They're probably in the dorms somewhere. Shall we go? Okay. Wir stoppen halber. Nächstes Mal gehen wir dann den anderen erklären, was lebt. Ich bis dann. Ciao.